your other hat, you're a businesswoman.
Yes.
What do you sell?
What do I sell? I try not to sell something if I can. It's not so much about selling. It's more about offering and contributing. And the way I contribute in my space, I basically founded the Verity Consulting, and our job is to help people grow, help organizations grow. And part of growing that is not just domestically but internationally. So that has always been my focus because, you know, being a global citizen, I love traveling.
But growing is so wide. Growing wide.
Absolutely. So it is very wide. So specifically when I was engaged by the Singapore government back in 2008, they were very interested in getting Singaporean companies expand internationally.
Right.
So prior to that, I was working at the university, and we were always looking into areas like sustainability, public-private procurement, how to grow SMEs into the e-commerce platform. But because of that project, and I really found my passion, my calling, that there's so much that you can do in getting unknown Asian brands to international stage. Right. And getting the kind of funding they need, attracting the kind of partners they want. And you know, Singapore is such a small country, and the population is so small. If we don't grow internationally, it's going to be very hard for us. So I definitely give credit to the Singapore government in having that foresight and vision. And so I was on that journey for the last 9 years, and I have to say I've been extremely proud of some of the work that we do.
Are they companies that you present that we are is household name?
Yes. So I've trained companies, over 200 Singaporean companies.
Wow.
But in terms of consultancy, we've done quite a handful. We're very selective the work that we do, but one of them you would know would be Soup Restaurant, Ouse Chocolate. What other companies? So many of them in Singapore. So we didn't just take care of the F&B industry, but we also look at service industry. So Josiah Montessori is also one of our clients. They're a childcare service company, and several others that we trained along the way.
Singaporean or Southeast Asian by nature a global thinker?
I think we are becoming one because the way, because of economic growth in this region. Right. So people are having a lot more appetite for international expansion. Right. In the past, it used to be very much a family-based business. Now they're more interested in how to find better partners overseas. How do you have a better, a stronger footprint all over the world? I have to say, the early part of that journey was always going to be tough because a lot of the businesses in Asia are owned by family. And the problem with family business is that they are very resistant to change. Right. And you have to basically have enough or better or really effective succession planning. And so that's always a tough one. I think that's one of our biggest Achilles. But then a lot of that is now being seen as qualities. They are now being seen as a competitive advantage because you have that heritage, and the decisions are being made within the family, and for the people in that country or that community. And I see more often now that this paternalistic sort of values, taking care of your employees, taking care of your community, is coming out really strong, which is dying in some other economies in the world, like in the Western economies. Again, like generalizing here, but I have to say those Asian qualities and those Asian values are now coming up as a very constructive value for the community and also for the economy, for the country. So I think it's moving towards that, and you are slowly starting to see that as well in China. Yeah.
Do you do anything in China?
Yes, we do. So we have businesses in China. We do help clients who wanted to enter the Chinese market, both from the Western culture and also Asian culture, because Singaporean Chinese or Malaysian Chinese are not China Chinese. We're different. Yeah. And so there's a lot of all these cultural minefields that you have to navigate.
So you mentioned 70% of your time is on UN, not just the association. I also sit on boards in education institutes. I do talks. I spend a lot of time raising awareness also in the disability space. So those non-profit add up
and also mentoring people, mentoring kids, mentoring women, mentoring entrepreneurs. I was made the global ambassador for the Inspiring Rabbit, and it's rabbits. Yeah, so it's a female entrepreneurship network organization where we try to have as many women calling themselves entrepreneurs by 2020. And so that's also another organization that I'm very happy to be representing.
It's an international organization.
Yes, an international organization, and I'm also serving as an international mentor for the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women. Oh. So the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women helps women in developing countries to sell or pitch their products to position themselves internationally through digital platforms. So given my e-commerce background, I'm very excited to be part of this foundation.
Yeah, what my next question would be.
Sure.
Where I'm coming, how do you find time?
Oh, how do I find time? Yeah, prioritize, and also, you got to make sacrifices. Yeah, there are sacrifices with the time that you want to contribute to the society.
Einstein would be the best person to talk about.
Yes. Oh, he's very loved. Don't worry about it. Einstein's my cat, and so he's very loved. He gets attention. The only problem is when I'm not around.
Which is 90%.
No. I try to be around my friends and the people that I love as much as I can. But like you said, it's a priority. You choose.
Deeper to that question is really, if I am if I have a business and I allocate only 30% of my time there, and the other 70% is for not-for-profit, psychologically I feel very guilty.
Yeah, do you?
Unless that 30% you're like earning millions.
For me, I think that 30% you just have to be a little bit more true with your time. So it also keeps you focused.
Wouldn't that be a priority? It would have been it would have made a lot more sense to me if it's the other way around.
It depends on your passion again, right? For me, my passion is really to do the work that I do for the community and for and play my part as a global citizen.
It's very hard to get my Asian head around it.
But if that was my passion, and I think everyone is different, so if that was my passion, I would do everything to gear myself towards that.
Yeah.
So for me, the money is great, but it's just a means to an end, right? So what I'll do is, it's a means to an end. So for me, it's a means to an end. So for me, it's like, if I want to do all this work for the community, I need a lot of time off. Yeah. And I need to have a lot of freedom. But in order to do that, I need to be able to take care of myself without having to go through a lot of
So you have a team of people doing other things in your consulting
and also I think particularly it's important for women to, when I first started my own business, I think it's important to look into managing your own investment portfolio, because that would help a lot as a form of passive income. And I would encourage all girls to look into that. There are tons of books out there where you can read and learn how to position yourself with all sorts of assets out there.
What kind of support can you get for independent, non-biased advice on things like this? Because everything is strings attached.
But I'm sure that there are also other organizations out there, or even books, that you can buy with.
What kind of books help you?
Definitely any books on what Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett. I really enjoy the books that he writes, and also Tony Robbins. Yes.
Unshakable.
So yes, I think that's a very good reference for how you should, you prepare yourself for this really turbulent financial times.
Right.
So I think it's an education. Again, my father didn't teach me that, and it took me a while to move my head around as well, because I was an academic, and for me, I'm just happy teaching, paying my 40% tax, and then enjoy life and do whatever I need to do to contribute.
So now you're really financially independent and empowered as a result of.
Yes, I think that
which enables you to do what's really important.
So the process is like this. I want to have freedom, financial freedom, so that I can do the community work I do. But in order to have that, I need to make sure that I'm financially secure. And so how do I become financially secure? Well, being an entrepreneur is one thing. Managing your cash flow is another. And then, of course, you've got to have enough investment portfolio that's going to show the hard times. Because as entrepreneurs, you know, we go through a cycle. So you're basically responsible for yourself, right? And for your team. So you can't really blame the government. You can't blame anyone for bad times. You just have to prepare that and plan that. And like I said, because my core and my passion is somewhat different from maybe people who are more driven by, say, financial achievement, it forced me to be a lot more efficient with the way I plan my time, with the way I do my projects with my client, and with the way I organize my effort and energy and mental space.